Thunderbolt would be the obvious one to go with, but I don't think that Joe has them.
His original line is that he was playing around to go for the throat, but you know. Also, TS2 shows the man base 2 Cavern of Souls, 4 Mistress Factories, and 13 islands. Now, there's a missing element there also.
I brought this up to one of my friends, Ian DeGraff, out there in the Magic universe, a old school kind of legacy guy, and he said, "No Wastelands, what?"
No Wastelands. Joe's not playing Wastelands in his deck either. He's very heavy on creatures, which actually I think gives him a decent advantage in this matchup.
And Ian said, and I loved this, that yeah, computers and college degrees are expensive, but they're also useful.
So Gebhart with the higher seed will get to win the dial, and he starts on the turn 1 Aether Vial, exactly what you need.
Aether Vial is such an amazing card for Merfolk. Being able to save your mana for your disruption and have your spells, your creatures come down uncounterable, very, very powerful.
Excellent in this matchup. Well, especially since Alex is on a hybrid of Stoneblade and Countertop. That really gets around the Countertop aspect of it. Alex got to be really disappointed that he wasn't able to force that.
Yeah, and pretty much he's going to have to rely on a very small amount of creature removal.
Island out of Joe, Island out of Alex. Then another Island out of Joe, playing Silvergill Adept, revealing Master of the Pearl Trident. His Aether Vial goes up to 1. Silvergill Adept is going to resolve Joe with a...
And Joe with a flourish. Go
and draws the card. Alex really on a back foot here. Remember, Alex does have Terminus. He can set up like a Miracle Terminus, and that's how he's going to have to deal with Joe's spells. Or Joe's creatures, but...
Also, of note, with Joe's land, it looks like they're all just kind of random lands, so he maybe follows
he's got old card
the Matthias Hunt school of land.
Yeah, the ones whatever you playtest with, you have to play with. He's keeping his Aether Vial. He kept his Aether Vial on 1 there, it looks like.
It looked like he did that on purpose.
Yep.
He pointed to it and said, "Nope."
And it looks like his hand is all lands. Spell Pierce and lands. So he keeps Aether Vial at 1, plays a 3rd island, and attacks with Silvergill Adept, putting Alex down to... Oh, no, sorry, it went up to 2. It went up to 2.
Okay, good.
Flash, and he's going to flash in Merfolk of the Pearl Trident.
Okay, you had me convinced. I was like, wow, what's his play?
Yeah, Curse Catcher. No, so he's going to, for 3, he's going to try Silvergill Adept in for 3.
This puts Alex at 17 and puts him on a 4-turn clock.
Yeah, Alex has got to be wary of swords in here. He doesn't want to get Spell Pierced.
A 4-turn clock at worst. Alex's deck, Joe's deck has all of the Merfolk Lords.
All of them.
Coral,
yes.
Helm Commander, Master of the Pearl Trident, Lord of Atlantis, Marrow Reedry, all of them. And then he's running Phantasmal Image on top of it.
So 3rd land is a Misty Rainforest from Alex. Alex has not made a play yet, but currently facing damage which will strike him down to 11, 10 after his fetch line. He's going to have to make a move here eventually. Aether Vial ticks up to 3. Despite there was a Master of the Pearl Trident in Joe's hand, Joe ticked it up to 3. It's a little curious there. I don't think he has a Reedry in his hand.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he has a secret Reedry hanging out. Oh,
that's a Master.
That's a Master. Island, Spell Pierce.
So both will get swing in for... just for 5. Master does not pump himself.
Take 5.
So Alex drops to 12. Master Pierce Island is Joe Gebhart's hand.
Go with the flourish.
It must not be Island. They would have played an Island. Alex is going to attempt to end step Brainstorm. See if he wants to bait out a Pierce here. Yeah, Joe did not play an Island. Didn't feel the need to. Joe's debating whether or not he wants to Pierce it. Definitely putting on a tell that says he has a Pierce. So
Alex not doing anything to reveal a Terminate there. Terminus there. Remember, with a card like Brainstorm, you do have to, if you want to invoke the Miracle Effect, essentially make some way of revealing while you're doing that. That's the first one.
All right, and there we go. Terminus. Here was put a Terminus from his hand on top of his deck, so he's going to Terminus here. Joe's got to be a little upset that there's Aether Vials on 3 right now. I can't imagine he's happy about that. So Alex revealing the Terminus first. So going to try to cast it with Spell Pierce mana up.
Are you gonna spend the mana? Says Joe.
I assume so.
It's on. Joe might be asking about it, but it's still on Alex to make that happen.
To do it.
There we go. Terminus.
Terminus has happened. Joe is going to pierce it, but the Alex can pay.
He might have a daze.
I don't think so. He's got just a master and a land. I'm not sure why he's piercing here then. He just wants to tap out Alex.
Tap him down and then drop a master afterwards?
We can't drop it afterward, though. Vial's on the wrong
no,
number.
on the next turn. On the next, he's gonna have to cast it.
Yep.
Tap him out so he can definitely get it out.
I think so. Looking pretty good for Alex here.
Yeah, they do look pretty solid.
Yeah.
And you can see the Star City Games vampire sleeves being played by Joe Gebhart. I believe that's Justin Treadway as the artist. I like those sleeves a lot, actually.
They are nice. I do like them. All right, so we have the Miracle Terminus.
I do think I see a Regery, actually. That's a Regery.
He does have one. Okay.
And the Terminus works. So goodbye, little fishies.
So a good 3-for-1 there by Alex. And now for his turn, he can lay a land and lay an island and pass back. All right.
End of the turn, Rege.
Here comes Regery. So Alex is going to need a second sweeper. So this is going to get brutal quickly.
Another Regery. Wow.
Very good. So
now they've seen each other's deck lists. Joe can know that Alex only has 3 Terminus in the main deck.
Right. Now the top of Alex's deck is fresh, so if he has another Brainstorm, which I believe he does, he can maybe get another Terminus going. Master of the Pearl Trident comes down for Joe. That'll make the Mirror Regery a 3/3 with Island Walk.
Untap this here island, he says.
And in response, what are we going to get from Alex? While with the pointing while the untap's on the stack, but before it's happened, I think that is where we are. I think we're looking at another Brainstorm. Oh no, sorry. Joe taps.
Oh, Joe tapped the island.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Regery swings in for 3. Joe might make it 4. I don't think he will, though. I wouldn't. You can do that next turn. Joe's starting to unstep a Regery and kill and win game 1. So let's see what Alex has to say about that. Remember that the Batterskull does nothing due to Island Walk.
That's right. Wow. Joe Gebhart here. Looking pretty good.
Fetch land down for Alex Binek.
If you notice that we're a little bit quieter with our speech, as this huge convention hall empties, our voices do carry over towards the play, so we're trying to make sure we're a little careful about giving anything away. Alex Binek really needs another Terminus, or I don't think he's in this at all. A Snapcaster would also work if he got up to 8 mana.
Yeah, or just like a Swords and a Snapcaster.
Well, that's fair.
Fetch immediately. What's he going for? Can't be the Batterskull. That doesn't work.
5 mana, he's dead.
Making Batterskull? That doesn't do anything.
He has to basically pray, I think, here that Joe doesn't have the Lord.
Joe does have the Lord.
Yep, and Joe does.
Yep, alright, Batterskull down. And that's not going to do anything. Joe's
like,
going to take game 1.
Let me just chuck this card out. It looks more expensive than the cards I'm used to. And Joe, by the way, wholeheartedly embracing the budget Merfolk title of his deck.
Yeah. Alright, well, Batterskull's down. There's a germ on it, but that's not going to... Don't untap, Joe. Don't do it. Put your Regery into play if you'd like to win. Okay. Yep. And that's it. Game 1 goes to Joe Gebhart. Trying to make it to the top 8 here. Top 4.
Now, we have the first game in the books here, but of course there's other kinds of winning that we have happening besides the matches that we see here in front of us. Joe Gebhart wins.
You too can be a winner.
Alex wins, you can win, and how you do that is by entering into our premium contest. And the contest works like this. Every round between the first game and the second game, while they're sideboarding, we give you a trivia question. The prize for the first round's trivia question is 3 free months of Star City Games Premium. The prize in the semifinals is 6 free months of Star City Games Premium. And in the finals, the prize after that first game, that trivia question prize, is a Gen Con badge for free entrance to Gen Con for the entire event. A incredible event, the greatest days in gaming for people that like to sit down and play Magic, play board games, do all kinds of gaming. It's good times for you. If you can make it, it's well worth it. So,
all right.
The way this works,
we are going to theme all 3 of these questions.
3 questions. Go ahead. Sorry, one at a time. Go ahead.
No, they're all going to be about kind of a dual thing. You have to know a little bit of Star City history. You're also going to have to hear about the release of From the Vault Realms that has been released. So, our first question we're going to ask you, this one's for 3 months of Star City Premium.
Remember, you have to have the hashtag.
You have to have the hashtag
SCG Premium. Right over there, you can see it. That hashtag is what's required in order to make this work.
Okay. What land in From the Vault Realms did Max Tietz use to win the Baltimore Invitational in his Maverick deck? So it's got to be land in Maverick. And look at the spoiler from the Vault Realms. There's a specific, not seeing too much play right now in Maverick, but certainly a card that's seen play in Maverick before.
Okay. I'm going to add a little hint. If you, because that's a pretty difficult question. I think that's a difficult question. If you go to my Facebook page, Adrian L. Sullivan, you will find a picture of this on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Adrian L. Sullivan. Yeah, and I feel like that's a really hard one. I don't know.
All right. Well, I think I have faith in people. All right.
I am faithless.
No longer a current staple in Maverick, but it's certainly an older version of Maverick.
Was it a staple in Maverick back in the day?
Good against other Maverick decks. Anyway, let's get back to our match.
Yeah. These players are sideboarding. Now remember, for those of you who are entering that trivia contest, you have to get the question correct, and you have to tweet with hashtag SCG Premium. Hashtag SCG Premium. And sideboarding-wise, we just saw Joseph with the Budget Merfolk deck really beat down against his opponent Alex Binek with the Stoneblade list. Terminus was able to clear the board, but pretty much without casting a single counterspell that actually countered anything, Joseph was able to stop Alex from being able to stymie his Merfolk Assault. From the sideboard, I think what we're going to see is 1 Spell Pierce, and that's it. Just 1 card, I think, is all that's going to come in. Even though he did see, the Batterskull, I don't think he's going to bother with Pithing Needle.
No, his main deck is what he wants here. He has a Spell Pierce. A lot of his other things, Blue Elemental Blast, Graf Digger's Cage, Lawan, Leyline of the Void, not really things that come in here.
So. From the floor, Caleb Durward up a game, Elves versus Bug, and also Dead Guy Ale, Jeff Hoogland, down a game versus Belcher, Corbin Rudnick.
Caleb, remember, going for the double win this weekend.
Oh, he wants to make sure that Jerry Thompson is on notice. He won't be the only one anymore. That's his goal.
All right, so...
Joe's shirt is awesome.
All right, so Alex on the play. Alex has a little bit more, which he can board. He has 13 different cards in his sideboard. He has a Path to Exile to complement his Swords to Plowshares, which I imagine we'll be seeing. He also has an extra Force of Will and an extra Terminus, which could all be brought in. This is still a creature matchup. It's a little bit of a difficult matchup for him because those spells can be countered. I think we see all of those come in.
I think he should bring them all in. I think he brings in Humility.
Yeah, quite possibly Humility. Cards like Batterskull not as good here. I don't think. The fact that there's 8 Lord of Atlantis effects basically means that things aren't blockable. And Batterskull, in my opinion, is the second Batterskull is just too slow. He doesn't actually have. Sorry, he doesn't. He actually. My mistake. He doesn't have a second Batterskull.
And I just reported to you that Jeff Hoogland had lost game 1. He's just lost game 2. So, in that little bit of time that I was talking to you before, Belcher took down the next one as well. So I'm sorry to tell you that we won't be able to get to Belcher because it's already over. That means that Corbin Rudnick with Belcher wins 2-0, moving on to our semifinals. One of the things I do love about Belcher, it sure does take matches down quick.
Yeah, Belcher, yeah. We were joking we were going to put that one on camera because then we get to see 2 full matches.
I mean, I've definitely seen Belcher players finish while their opponents were resolving mulligans. I mean, while their table partners, people at the same table, were resolving mulligans.
All right, so Alex gonna be on the play here. He's got to he's got to make sure that Aether doesn't resolve. That's really, I think, one of the first steps to here for him.
The thing about Aether Vial, it just represents so much mana, and the instant ability to flash in at inopportune times. It's just a devastating effect for a control deck to deal with. And we have the game beginning Island from Alex Binek. Island. Curse Catcher or Aether Vial? Aether Vial. Does it work?
Again, can he pierce it? Can he force it?
No.
No, that's very bad for him.
What are his answers to Aether Vial?
Once it's down, he's going to have to race it.
Once it's down, it looks like his answer is probably not in the deck, Energy Flux, Pithing Needle, Oblivion Ring. These are presuming he sideboards these cards in, which he might not. Second Island from both players. The Aether Vial up to 1. And passes back, Alex Binek.
So both players with just double Island in play. With Alex, I don't like this keep from him. I'm not sure what he's keeping it based on, but I'm not a fan.
Flooded Strand from Alex Binek. We're going to see activation of Aether Vial. Any responses? Maybe a Vendilion Click?
I'm going to put in a Curse Catcher. All right. So all these Merfolk are going to come out uncounterable now on end steps.
Up to 2. There's a Cavern of Souls.
So nothing's getting countered here.
Oh, man. You know, for those of you who have been told that it's just too hard to even put together the budget deck, you know what? You can go even more budget with the budget deck and just get rid of those expensive spells. Get rid of Wasteland.
Sure.
Get rid of Mutable. Get rid of Force of Will.
Just play Island. Just Island. If you have some Caverns from your standard deck, throw those in there.
Right?
All right, third land. Yeah, third land down. Remember, he has a bunch of possible plays there. Joe can commit a little harder to the board. He doesn't have to worry about things getting countered.
He attacks for 1 with a smile on his face.
He is all smiles about this top 8.
He's got a Coral Helm Commander in his hand.
And he's going to flash in Merfolk.
That looks like a
Master of the Pearl
Master.
Trident. The Cavern is
naming elves. I wonder if he'll end up regretting that at some point.
Why would you do that? That actually matters.
It does matter.
Why would you name elves?
Because he's gloating a little bit.
This is awesome. Okay, sure. Joe's just having the time of his life in this top 8.
You know, honestly, when people do that, I do kind of hope
Watch out. Yeah, I mean,
something happens to him for it.
They can go all the way if that happens, you know?
Like, it might have been okay to name, I don't know, Shapeshifter.
Sure, but elf. All right. He has... I mean... I guess there's no way to blow up the Aether Vial. I guess he's just totally committed to casting everything off Aether Vial. He flashed in Lord of Atlantis there. So it has a Master of the Pearl Trident, a Lord of Atlantis, a Coral Helm Commander in hand, plenty of stuff. All right. Brainstorm from Alex Binek, and cracking the Flooded Strand. And Alex, especially, I think he's got to just make sure when he keeps these hands against his deck, he's not keeping things that fold to an Aether Vial. And I feel like the hand he kept really just did.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I know with old school Goblins, with old school Merfolk, I've played a lot of Control and Legacy over the last couple of years. You have to have a plan for the Vial, or it's just going to run you over.
Yeah, so he's going to now Swords the Lord of Atlantis, and that's going to get Spell Pierced.
Pierce. No, thank you, Swords.
All right, so Binek takes 2.
a Wasteland, from Alex Binek.
Yeah, now I can make those elves counterable again. All right. Alex is going to have to stop the damage going on, though.
This is 4 damage a turn right now. So it is...
Alex does have a Stoneforge Mystic in hand, which he's not casting, of note. That's a different plan. I'm not sure he has a Jace in hand, Stoneforge Mystic. Possibly a Terminus. I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to take a little more damage and get Joe to commit a little harder before maybe brainstorm setting up a Terminus. I'm not positive.
In comes 4 damage.
Yeah, maybe more. You might see a Master of the Pearl Trident get vialed in here.
Master number 2.
And Snapcaster comes down. That's going to go for a Swords. If he gets it, the Snapcaster can then block Curse Catcher as well. I mean, Joe will probably vial in Master of the Trident to not let that happen. But so just Master and Coral Helm in Joe Gebhart's hand.
I think Joe looks like he's in trouble, actually.
Yeah, he might. He's slowly losing control of this game. All right, we're gonna Swords the Lord of Atlantis. All right. And that works.
Joe gains 2 life. Could have been 3. Probably doesn't matter, but it might.
And before, Alex is going to see if he can move to blocks, and he's going to block it.
Wow.
Joe shouldn't let that happen. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I would have put the Master of the Pearl Trident into play there. He's going to say
maybe what Joe was trying to do here is just use it end of turn, put a Coral Helm Commander into play, then on his turn put a Master into play and level up the Coral Helm Commander.
Sure. I do like that plan. I don't know, I still think I'd want to push the damage.
I agree.
Alright, he passes.
There's the Coral Helm
There's
Commander.
Coral Helm.
Untap.
Leave it at 2.
Draw.
Draws another island, so his hand is island, just Island Master. I think there may be a 3rd card in there. I think there's a 3rd card in there hiding. We're not sure what it is.
Level.
Yeah, well, 4 levels. Level it all the way, right?
Level.
And
level.
Yep, and when the 4th level comes down, he's going to path it.
I mean, Alex just knocking away one at a time all of Joe's creatures. I really think that Joe allowing the Snapcaster to block, a huge deal. There could be an island walking 2/2 hitting him right now.
For a 2nd time, so that put Alex at 13. Yeah, I mean, I do think that's a play you need to make.
Sad times for Coral Helm Commander as he's removed from the game and finds an island. That's one of my favorite islands you just put into play. For those of you who are just joining us, this is the 2nd game of the top 8 of the Legacy Open. It's the quarterfinals. I'm Adrian Sullivan with Matthias Hunt. You can see Alex Binek, a member of the U.S. national team this year, down a game against Merfolk. This is a budget Merfolk list. No Force of Wills, no Wastelands, no Mutavaults, but it has made it all the way through 8 rounds of Swiss to be in this top 8.
And Joe will pass back. Alex now, I think finally, now that he has Joe tapped out, is going to go for Stoneforge or a Jace. Stoneforge comes into play. He just needs to set up a Jite. Alex at a healthy 17 in command of this game.
Yeah, Alex looks like he's well in charge of it.
All right, he's going to go with the Batterskull, sure.
Actually, I don't like that. You can overwhelm a Batterskull with Merfolk.
Yeah. Merfolk can deal damage faster than a Batterskull that can gain life, but I don't think you can overwhelm a Jite.
Yeah, I don't think you can overwhelm a Jite at all.
Yeah.
Sensei's Divining top. And Alex with a Terminus in hand, all it takes is one Brainstorm to set that Terminus up if it comes to that.
Or one Jace that is also in his hand. So end step, Joe's going to put down the Master of the Pearl Trident. All right, Joe's on his last volley of creatures. If Alex can deal with these, I don't think Joe can is going to reload.
Islands in Joe's hand. Jeez.
Ooh, so he's bringing it up to 3 now. And this is the kind of point where you really kind of wish the Cavern wasn't on elves.
Yeah.
Though the play was really sweet, so.
It was sweet in a...
Oh, no, it's great.
Kind of is that a Mistress Factory? How lucky.
Oh, man. Not a Mutavault, so it still can be blocked. It won't actually be able to swing past Batterskull.
He's pointing his master at the Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
Let's fight.
No, the game doesn't work that way. You can't attack someone else's creatures. You have to attack them.
Yeah, this is not Battle Tech or a few other games.
Yeah. Alex will top here. 2 fetches and a Force of Will. Not a very good hand at all. Top at all. He has to take a fetch, and then get rid of the rest of those and try again.
Fetch lands. Go. And a turn, nothing.
Nothing. Joe doesn't have anything. And he draws another factory?
Nothing, nothing. Carry the nothing, more nothing.
I believe it's another factory. Man, it's a shame those things aren't merfolk. Yep, second factory, but no place in there. Here comes Batterskull into play for Alex Binek. So that's gonna be pretty strong here. He cracked a fetch there to clean the top of his library off. Remember, Alex also with a wasteland for any potential factory shenanigans that would happen. He has a Jace and a Terminus in hand. Alec is in control.
Can you make out what kind of art that is? I know it's a germ token, but what is the art? Brainstorm, is that Humility? Yeah, Brainstorm, Humility.
That's pretty good. I don't even want to cast the Humility right now, though, I don't think. Actually, interesting. Humility makes the Batterskull a 5/5, right?
That's right.
Now, Equipment works with Humility in that you still get the bonus from it, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. Mistress Factories are still 2/2s under a Humility.
A Goku, apparently, is what that art is.
That's Dragon Ball Z? Right?
I don't know what Gokus are,
yeah,
so
I think that's
my
Dragon
apologies.
Ball Z. And Humility. All right.
Ouch. Well, we all have 1/1s now.
Well, that helps the Germ token. Now it's a 5/5. With Vigilance and Lifelink.
Equipment is a marvelous thing.
All right, I'm not sure how layering works, so we're gonna reference this over here to our judge here, helping us explain just what.
Okay. Humility came down second, so right now it is a 1/1.
Despite now, if he moves the Batterskull, that will change this fact. That makes so little sense to me.
So right now, we're going to pause for a moment while we wait to see that Jeremy is tapped. Because if... Yeah, the judge is reading it now.
This is why we don't print cards like Humility anymore.
I miss cards like Humility.
Humility is probably the single... card of causes, the single most largest section of the rulebook has come about as, it's one of the worst from a judge's point of view. It's probably one of the worst cards they've ever printed. Yeah.
We're waiting to find out how this is
So I'm
done.
not going to be able to. I know we're going
to. Joe Gebhart says, "You know what? I don't even care what the ruling is.
I'll just scoop." Okay, thank you, Joe. Sporting guy.
Pay attention to that stuff.
So yeah, I'm not going to try to explain why things are certain sizes under Humility because I'll do it wrong and then I'll get a Twitter storm at me, and I'm not a judge. Talk to your judge.
I don't know either. The judge that we have telling us says that the second thing coming down was humility, so therefore it has precedence. So if you were to move the batter skull, but I don't really know how that works.
Yeah.
I apologize. Normally in my situation as a player, I would go like this.
I just call
a judge.
I don't actually know how this works. All right, so going into game 3, Joe will be back on the plate. Joe's had, he still wants to make sure he gets the turn 1 Ether Vials going on. Match can go both ways. Joe needs to make swords, and cards like swords are very important. Joe needs to make sure he's pushing damage early because he will lose control of the game as we keep going.
Okay, bad news for you Caleb Durward fans. Chris Funk has defeated Caleb Durward. Turn 1, Caleb plays a Llanowar. Turn 1, Chris Funk Dark Blasts it. Caleb concedes.
Really?
Quote Caleb Durward, I can't beat a Dark Blast. I've never beaten a Dark Blast with this deck.
Right. Well, so Caleb's attempt going 2 for 2 has been taken down. Jerry Thompson gets to still be the sole possessor of that honor. So we have Chris Funk now in the top 4. He'll be playing against Corbin Rudnick. So we'll have Belcher versus Bug in the top 4.
Still waiting on the matchup between Matt Hoey and Grant Wilkinson. Last we checked, well, actually, I don't have any results from those two yet, so
we'll keep you updated as they come in. Both players still shuffling here.
So right now, in the other bracket, our top 4 is Belcher versus Bug.
Yep, and on this side we have this matchup here going to game 3. We also have an Esper, they're playing the winner. We have Matt Hoey playing Esper Stoneblade versus Grant Wilkinson playing Storm. Keeping in mind that Grant Wilkinson and Alex Binek both haven't, along with Caleb Durward, we're all undefeated entering this top 8. All of them came in with 6 wins and 2 draws. All right. All smiles here, really cordial match.
And actually, now we've got our results in. Matt Hoey with Esper Stoneblade wins 2-0 versus
over
Storm.
the Storm deck. So yeah, you know, the blue deck's pretty good against combo decks. So we have 2 of our undefeated players are down. Will the third one go down too? We'll see if Joe Gebhart pulls us out, then we'll have no more players undefeated in the tournament. So far, being the higher seeded player, it's been a little, no, never mind, that's not true. About to make a comment, it does not hold up. But, so Belcher versus Bug, Esper Stoneblade versus winner of this match.
Joe Gebhart looks like he's having a lot of fun. He's happy to be here from what I gathered. You talked to his friends and him earlier tonight?
Yeah, I was outside last round, and I was talking with some of his friends outside, and you know, they were just having a gas that he was in the top 8. Said he's gonna hold this one over them for quite a while. He came in.
You said I couldn't do it.
They said that they had Force of Wills they could have lent him, but he didn't ask. he was sleeving up deck and decided, I don't have Force of Wills, and just sleeved up some counter spells, and you know, really that's kind of the attitude he's taken into this tournament, and it's just, you can see just all smiles here. So looks like Alex repairing a broken sleeve here. All right, both players drawing their 7th. See what we're going to keep here.
Joe Gebhart on the play here. Very dangerous for Alex, as long as Joe has a solid hand.
And Alex Binek is shipping back. Looks like Joe
boy.
Gebhart's keeping on a 7. We could have a budget Merfolk versus Belcher finals.
Honestly, I think that's the most likely if Merfolk wins this round.
It could, yeah.
Actually, to be fair, Bug has a pretty good fight against Belcher.
Yeah. Bug is a Force of Will deck with a decent amount of counter magic. I think it's going to be, pretty hard for Belcher to get through that. I don't believe we've ever had Belcher win a Star City Legacy Open before.
I'm pretty sure we haven't, but I'll do a quick check on that.
One of those things where I always like to say, if Belcher wins a whole Legacy tournament, it's mathematical improbability occurring. All right, cutting Alex on 6. Alex looked like he was going to ship back to 5. Now looking at it a little harder. Unsure, disappointed to be sure. You can tell it on his face. Yep, he's going back for 5.
Yikes.
So Joe's got to feel good on the play. His opponent's on 5 in a matchup that's probably good for him.
The closest we've had, 2 years ago, Christian Valenti made it to the semifinals.
All right, and that's it. That's the only top 8 we've ever had with the Belcher deck.
Yep.
Well, that's already been matched today. Now, can it be beaten is the question.
Well, we will find out.
Yeah. Five cards for Alex. That's a pretty.
I mean, I think someone should alert.
And right away, Joe Gebhart right away with the turn 1 Aether Vial.
Aether Vial, every game. 1.
And if you look at Joe's hand, it's just full of action. Is it a 1-lander?
It's a 1-lander. Well, oh, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Okay. Wait.
What you got?
Yeah, it is a 1-lander. All right.
Okay, now make sure that Aether Vial goes back down to 1. It got bumped when he moved it.
So Joe, Snap keeping the 1-land Aether Vial hand. Boy, a Force of Will.
Puts it to 2.
And Alex with no other plays.
That's a Mishra's Factory, I think.
Yeah, he's got to land in here. Joe can just go to town.
And now, is he saying go? I would cast one of these 2s.
They all cost blue. They're all the lords.
He can put a lord into play and then Phantasmal Image it. He's got one.
He does. I don't know if he has caught that. Alex draw, passing the turn. Joe end step, Murph, Lord of Atlantis. And he's going to take his turn. He's just going to keep that thing at 2 and go for it. Really tough keep for Alex. Didn't want to go to 4. Phantasmal Image down from Joe Gebhart. That's going to copy Lord of Atlantis. That could have happened last turn.
Yep.
Okay, but
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
In for 3, maybe 4.
But it's still good this turn. If Alex is on 1 island, still good this turn.
I think we might have a case of end of your turnitis from Joe Gebhart.
Yeah. He also has a Curse Catcher in his hand that he's just not casting. All right, second island from Alex. I think we're already right. He's passing the turn.
Yeah.
We're already game over.
It is
another
end of your
image.
turnitis.
Yeah, that would have pumped everybody too.
Now remember, kids, end of your turnitis kills.
Yeah, just because you can play something on their end step doesn't mean you have to play it on their end step. You often tell people to do it because there's often a good reason to do it.
And Alex just
Joe Gebhart wins 2
up.
games to 1, is in the top 4 of our open here.
Okay, 2-1 for budget Merfolk. Joe Gebhart, not the only person to be victorious here. Alex Binek, you can see the disappointment in his face. Was that a double or a triple mulligan?
Just double.
Just a double mulligan. But I mean,
hand.
that's still pretty rough when you have such a archetype disadvantage just to begin with. Not to mention a strategic archetype disadvantage like this.